take the needle, put it right back down, it'll follow itself around and it'll come back. Vibration free, steady, consistent. The noise factor is another advantage on this machine. I find that a lot of people are less intimidated when the noise is not there of the spring machines. And when they see this not moving, and they're looking at it and they're saying, wow, what can it do? It can't hurt you that much. And it really doesn't. It's a big psychological thing. You want to note that this needle riding on that guide, as you will see, if I drop that guide down, it's running by itself. It's not in the guide. The guide is there for when you're running into different positions and everything else. It's not done with pressure. It's actually what it is. It's a guide. It's not controlled by certain amounts of pressure and whatever. And when you see this needle running and operating, which I'm going to continue running while I show you this, you see at the top of it, you can see where it's running dead center there. This is friction elimination. If you can see over here, it's running dead center, almost, maybe slightly above, but dead center on that. There's no flipping up. If that flips up at all, you'll get a little noise and you'll know that it needs a minor adjustment somewhere. And that's probably you banged it or dropped it or something like that. But basically, when that's running, that's the way it's going to run. It's going to run so that when you look at it sideways on a probably on a lightweight thing like this, you will see these are running right to the top, both of them. They're running perfectly upright, perfect symmetric. That's what makes it such a precision machine. That counterbalance on that flywheel with the weight on that, when it's fully extended, just keeps that balance and eliminates the friction. This is a right and left-handed machine. This shows here. Right here, you'll see the nut is set in on the material on that side, and the same thing is reversed on this side. So either right or left-handed, wherever you want to set it, you can have it. I prefer the right-handed thing because I do most of my controls here and my elastics here. This is the adjustment here, which I send you the keys for the motor. Now, this motor adjustment allows you, when I loosen this, to set it up. That's a way high setting. You can see the needle's almost touching the top of the tube. When you tighten this, don't over tighten it. Just snug it up, because you don't want to bend the motor. You don't have to. It ain't going anywhere. It seats itself in there perfectly all through the back part of here, and that's holding it in. And it's lined up perfect again. You can see that. You'll hardly ever use this adjustment here unless you happen to somehow stretch a spring, or for some reason something happens, or if this wears, and I can't imagine that wearing too excessively, and if it does, we should send you a new one. But when you loosen this up, that'll pull out. It locks in that guide and locks in the springs of that section. The last adjustment that you'll ever have on this is to avoid the flywheel riding on the motor. Because if the flywheel rides on the motor, that's a friction area. It's not going to make you happy. It's going to give you a little drag, and you're going to know something ain't quite right. So whenever you have to, there's a little set screw here. You can loosen that set screw, and if you'll notice now, I'll tighten it up just a hair. You notice now it's riding directly on that motor. There's no clearance. There's a noise. That's friction. Anytime you hear noise or something, that's friction. It ain't right. I go back, I look there, and I say, whoa, that needs to be brought up just a hair. I must have not tightened it when I made that setting. I'll loosen it up, and I'll raise it just to that, maybe an 1/8, 1/16 above the motor. Take the set screw and give that a good snug fit on that, because that's the only real moving part. And there it is again, quiet all over again, set up to go. As you can see, the space is very, very minimal, but it's set. Yeah, one more advantage to the Rototech is this. This machine is not a shader or a liner, it's both. When you buy this, you're buying actually two machines in one. This can pack in the color or the black like you need it, and it has the finesse to be able to make a delicate line in small, tight areas, or to even use the end of the needle as a little coloring spot in small eyeballs or in between some of the Celtic pieces that you do. So this does the job for one machine, does the job for two. Most of the people are buying spring machines, they're buying one or two shaders, one or two liners. They got to keep them set up perfect, ready to go. They'll set up two machines before they operate, maybe two, three if they need a different type of a shader. This we don't. I start my shader as a liner. I run it as a liner. I just tilt this. I take this machine, loosen it up, tilt it to where I get the proper corner, just like the corner on this machine here. There it is. It's the same thing. I'm using a liner. When I wanna, I take this out, take out that needle, put in a shader, set it on the flat side. There's your shader. And as you see on the front, it's running pretty smooth as a shader in this liner, but most of the time when you got a flat in there, the flat or the mags are going to just run nice and smooth on that because that's what it's built for. But it's the same machine. It's the same machine. I take the same machine, I twist it again, go back to that, I got a liner. Yeah, if you decide to purchase this machine, what I'm going to send you is, I'll put this aside for a moment, I'll take this. This would be the box that it would come in. It would be a Rototech box. And inside, that's a little complimentary gift. It's just a pen on a hook with my name on it. Inside you'll get the machine. You'll get one disposable tube just to set it up, to show you the setup on it. And I'm going to put this one right to work to show you that it's set up right from the box. I'm just going to put a needle in there and run it for you to show you how it's set up the same way as that is. But I won't do that right this minute. Right now I'm going to show you what it comes with. It comes all fully assembled and set up and ready to go. In this package, I've put you an extra screw for each one of the settings, a couple of elastics to show you the type of elastic that you can purchase if you wish, and the different keys to operate each one of the little screws that are set up here. So if for some reason you're taking this apart and you say you drop a screw and you can't find it, you're not put out of business. If you drop this screw, you find it, use the screw, or you can go to your local hardware and try to pick one up if you wish. But I'm sending you these so you can continue to operate while you're hunting for any parts that you may want to replace.